she actually, I'm just so impressed by this woman. She's not just a comedian and a writer and a performer. She's also a teacher and a professor. And what really blows my mind is she was a runner-up of the Moth twice in Michigan and.
Michigan.
Okay, in Michigan. And she, I think she won or came up runner-up as funniest woman or funniest person? Person, okay. I didn't mean to be gender specific on that. In Michigan, right?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So, all right, there's her street cred. She's very funny. She's done a bunch of my shows. She's back. Catye Palomino.
You know, since there are only 2 Jewish people, and maybe you think you're Jewish a little bit? Jew-ish? It seems like your husband didn't know that, so it's a good thing you guys came to the show. No, I would never, this isn't a joke, but I was thinking about this, and I don't know why I haven't told Larry this before, but I remember when I was a kid, the Jewel Osco, where I grew up, all of the lights were burned out once except the JEW. And I was very uncomfortable with that.
Which Jewel was it?
It was in Normal, right on Main Street.
I worked at that Jewel.
That's why it said Jew?
I must have been one of my shifts.
That's right, you were there. Anyway, so I'm still like, every time I drive by it, I'm like, Anyway, I was just in the bathroom, this is true also, I was just in the bathroom, and I was thinking, I put my hands under the faucet, and it's not automatic. And I was thinking how much of my life I've wasted waiting for the water to come on or the soap. I'm guesstimating in my lifetime, since it's only been a few years since that's actually happened, probably about 3.5 days I've wasted. And just my hands waiting for and then you do you're dancing, you do the robot trying to get the stuff to turn on, and paper towel. Anyway, I just did that. So I gotta tell you guys, I've had a terrible week, which is crazy because I don't even work at the White House. It's been rough. I'm not gonna lie. I still, all of this time in, honestly, I have a hard time calling Donald Trump the president. I have a hard time with that. So I usually just refer to him as number 45, and sometimes douchebag. Sometimes blowhard. I like to blowhard. No, honestly, I'm really tired of number 45. Talking about how he's number 1, mostly because he's full of number 2. Yeah, I think it's interesting with all of this investigating that's going on. Who knows what they're going to find out when they finish, if they ever finish, but wouldn't it be interesting if they found out that Donald Trump also had an affair with Monica Lewinsky? Nobody could see that coming, right? But what if Robert Mueller found out that Donald Trump was the brains behind the Benghazi operation? Ha ha ha! Or what if he found out that Trump was the brains behind any operation? That would also be shocking to me. If nothing else, I'll be honest, if nothing else, I hope Robert Mueller can finally put to rest for all of us the question of who let the dogs out. That's what I'm hoping for. There's talk right now whether or not Trump is actually going to testify with Robert Mueller, and people are concerned, people who support him and his lawyers, of course, that he might lie under oath. They're concerned about this, naturally, because this is not their first rodeo, right? I was thinking about the idea of not your first rodeo. When you say it's not my first rodeo, we obviously know that that means I've had this experience before, right? So if I say, my friend's gonna be late, this is not my first rodeo. But I was thinking if you just change those words slightly, it doesn't quite mean the same thing. For example, if I said, my friend's gonna be late, it's not my first rodeo, people know what I mean, but if I said, my friend's gonna be late, I have been to lots of rodeos. People are wondering why we're talking about rodeos. Try it sometime. I recently had an opportunity to be the entertainment at an alumni event for the high school that I attended. I was flattered to get to go back to the school where I went and perform for a lot of people I've known most of my life, and especially some of my former teachers. And it was a perfect opportunity to prove to my teachers, as I tried to as a kid, to prove to them that telling jokes has been much more useful in my life in the long run than trigonometry. Right? I can't honestly say I've ever used trigonometry, even when I was in the class. It wasn't the first time I've told jokes in that school building, though. It was the first time I told jokes without being asked to leave class. So it's a little empowering. You know, when you're in high school, I was thinking about this. If you are a freshman and you date even a sophomore, scandalous, right? So let alone like a senior. Oh my gosh, that is drama. But obviously, when you graduate from high school, it's really not that big of a deal. You're pretty much all the same age, right? You're the same age. Which is why I think it's interesting that the person I last dated was 15 years younger than me. And other people thought that was weird, that 15-year difference. And it wasn't weird for us. We broke up for other reasons than the 15-year age difference. But I was thinking it's not really that big deal. The only time that like a 15-year age difference would really be a problem is if you are 15 and you're dating someone 15 years younger. That's creepy. Illegal, some might say illegal. So recently I was at the mall with my boyfriend, and we went shopping, and yeah, thanks Larry. I'm actually gay. But it was fun. It's always fun for me to say that to people and watch everybody's face go. So thank you for accurately judging this book by its cover. No, I thought I was gay because I was attracted to women. Turns out I officially became a lesbian when I recently adopted a dog. Got the dog license and the congratulations, you're a lesbian certificate on the same day. Big day at my house. Big day at my house. No, I did recently adopt a dog on New Year's Eve. We celebrated 2018 together. I adopted her, or I guess they're saying, what I really did was I rescued her, which is so dramatic. Right? Rescued her. I really do hate, I'll be honest with you, I hate when people say things about me rescuing the dog. Who rescued who? Because our lives are both so changed, right? When people say that to me, I usually say, well, first of all, it's who rescued whom. And second of all, until she starts paying the bills and doing her own laundry, I'll assume the role of rescuer. I'll assume the role of rescuer. Right? No, she's a 2.5-year-old. I got her just as a 2-year-old, and she is a pit bull terrier greyhound mix, which is strange. Recently someone asked me what kind of dog I had, and I actually said, and I keep getting this in my head, I actually said she is a pit bull terrier groundhog mix, which is not true. But I keep saying that, and now I'm so conscientious of don't say groundhog, and of course I say groundhog. The point of telling you all that is that she is of mixed race. She is of mixed race. I sat down with her. I told her not to be conscientious or too sensitive about being of mixed race. I told her pretty much everybody in this country anymore is of mixed race, right? In fact, I told her, I took her paw and I said, now listen, it is nearly impossible to find a purebred American anymore. I mean, just ask the Republican Party. We can't find one either. Anyway, I wasn't sure, to be honest, what kind of dog I wanted to get, but I definitely knew what I didn't want to get, right? I definitely knew that I didn't want a lab. My only experience with a lab is my cousin's lab, and he has a meth lab. So not for me. I knew that I didn't want a German Shepherd or an Irish Setter. Honestly, with the climate of our country, I didn't want to risk them getting deported. Selfishly, I didn't want to carry their passports around either. I knew I didn't want a bloodhound because I don't want to be up worrying all night when they were out solving crimes. And well, obviously I didn't want a wiener dog since I'm a lesbian now.